Okay, this is just a video review of my latest acquisition. It's a Ducati m1100 Evo Monster. I used to have a Monster S4 from 2001, quite an old bike, over 10 years old. Great bike, but quite old, and it was showing its age. Now I've recently updated and got this latest version. It's not brand new, I didn't buy it brand new. It's from 2011. Good thing is that condition was very good. Numbers of kilometers was low. It was under 5,000, 4,300 actually. I bought it from the same dealership that I bought my S4, which was Minerva Motorcycles, which are the only Ducati dealer in Singapore. The great thing about this bike is obviously, from a condition wise, there's a big difference. All the components feel and look relatively new, so I've no real problems with corrosion, which is a big issue in Singapore. It's very, very, very humid here and quite hot, so things tend to get rusty very, very quickly. The bike, if I was to compare it with the S4, I'd say the power is roughly the same. The bike feels that it's got its torque lower down in around about the 4 to 6 range, where I think most of the torque seems to be. When you get above 8, the red line is quite low. It's only about 8,200 compared to the S4, which is I think around about 9.5. So this is not the sort of bike you would rev a lot. You really are up changing relatively early compared to something like an S4, which has a water-cooled superbike engine. It's got more vibration. This bike it feels tighter. I guess that's because it's newer, and also just the way the engine is, it tends to vibrate a lot more than the water-cooled version that I had before. The upgrades, obviously, because it's newer, are things like the radial mount Brembo brakes. This exhaust, I'm sort of in two minds about it. It sounds pretty good, almost as loud as my old Termies. But I just don't like the look. They're very, very domineering, dominant. They're quite big. I'd like to I'm thinking about getting something smaller, which is maybe a little bit louder, or just the note is different. The bike is, one of the other good things about this bike is that it's very light. They claim around about 169 kilos without any fluids, and about 188 all up, which is probably 20k lighter than my previous bike, and you definitely can feel it more when you're tipping it side to side and just moving it around. It definitely feels a lot lighter. Other than that, the suspension's quite hard. I need to do some adjustments here to match my weight. I'm quite lightweight, and the handling seems to be roughly about the same compared to the old Monster. One good thing about this is the view. Because the mirrors and the fairing is quite low, you get a great view of the road. The negative is that because the fairing is so small, you get a lot more wind resistance, which is not very good above, say, about 90k. So it's not something you can ride on the highway comfortably at higher speeds. Other than that, it's got great. The brakes are fantastic on this bike compared to my previous one. The brakes on my previous bike felt good, but these are far more powerful, probably a bit too sensitive compared to what I'm used to. And the only things that I've added so far are these protection bobbins or mushrooms. They're quite neat, very easy to actually install. I'm looking to replace the levers, maybe the mirrors to bar end types, to try and make the front view even cleaner, and maybe eventually replace the exhaust with something which is a bit more aftermarket. Alright, just signing off.